The shooting range. In this episode, pages of history, the T-34 in the Cold War. Challenge: how many frags can we get with satellite bombs? And metal beasts, the Swiss Army knife. War Thunder has quite a number of vehicles, but there's one special category: machines with player-made models. Why don't we take such a plane into the skies today? Please welcome a Swiss light attack aircraft, the FFA P-16. Its power plant is a single turbojet engine with a maximum thrust of 4,800 kilogram forces. This ground attacker can offer pretty decent acceleration and maximum speed compared to Korean War-era fighters, but don't expect it to be a worthy opponent for later vehicles that have afterburners. The P-16's straight wing provides enjoyable maneuverability, but longer duels often make it bleed speed and turn it into an easy target. The main advantage of this aircraft in air battles is its powerful forward-firing armament. Two 30mm autocannons can offer such an impressive velocity that you might need to relearn how to lead your shots, because it's almost not required. You can also find this weapon on the Italian Sagittario and Ariete fighters, so if you're familiar with those, you know their surgical precision. The simplest way to use these cannons is energy and frontal attacks. Send a short volley towards the opponent, turn away, and wait for them to fly into the tight swarm of angry little shells. With this caliber, your opponent won't need a lot of hits anyways. Besides that, you can take a couple of infrared-guided missiles to air combat, and these are similar to the American Sidewinder Bs. Yes, they can only hit targets that don't maneuver much and fly pretty close to you, but even this modest addition to firepower is welcome. Naturally, the best way to unlock the potential of a ground attack fighter is CAS. Under its wings and inside the fuselage, this machine can carry up to 3 tons of conventional rockets and bombs. There's no ballistic computer here, so don't waste this space on smaller calibers. The most versatile loadout includes 2 2,000-pound bombs and 2 400-kilogram ones. Despite the lack of a computer to tell you the expected hit area, the P-16 doesn't make close air support a hard task. With its good handling, you can drop bombs right on target and exit dives very close to the ground. Just don't forget to set your fuses, lest you hit yourself. The hot battles of the Eastern Front helped the T-34 to become one of the main Soviet symbols in the victory over Germany. But once the war was over, thousands of intact but unneeded combat vehicles were sent to the warehouses. In the mid-1940s, the Army began an upgrade process, which meant that the limelight was looking away from the 34. Still, the tank would soon enjoy its newly found popularity in numerous local conflicts all over the world. The Korean War was the first such episode. North Korea received more than 200 tanks from the Soviet Union, and used them extensively early in the conflict. The command primarily saw the T-34-85 as an infantry support vehicle to be used during assault operations. The tank was found to be very efficient in that role since the other side simply had nothing to counteract it with. Everything changed after the intervention of the UN forces. North Korea lost numerous tanks to airstrikes and in battles against Shermans, Pershings, and Pattons. By the fall of 1950, only a few dozen of the 200 T-34s were left at the disposal of North Korea. Nevertheless, the tank proved to be a major force in the war and gained the reputation of a decent assault vehicle. Even shoulder-launched ATGMs of the time couldn't always penetrate its armor, while its own guns could sometimes damage even the latest Pattons. A few years later, the T-34 joined the Suez Crisis of 1956. That time, the Soviet tanks were used in defense, with the Israeli side losing dozens of Shermans, AMX-13s, and APCs. The Egyptian army also used the T-34 later, during the Six-Day War. The legendary World War II machine held its ground against infantry and other outdated tanks, but could do nothing against more modern vehicles like the Centurion tanks. In later years, the T-34-85 was used numerous times by the armies of socialist nations. For instance, the Cuban Revolutionary Forces used it in 1961 to repel the American invasion. The T-34 has also played a notable role during the Vietnam War. The Northern Army first used them as a training vehicle, but later sent them to actual combat. Like the DPRK during the Korean War, North Vietnam used the T-34 primarily as an infantry supporter, while the bulk of its armed forces consisted of more modern vehicles. Some 34s were retrofitted to become platforms for anti-aircraft guns. The last times when this iconic tank was used were during the hostilities in Cyprus and Angola, in the Ethio-Somali and the Sino-Vietnamese wars, as well as battles in Yugoslavia and Yemen. Despite being outdated for all intents and purposes, this Soviet machine still had a good gun and provided its crew with some protection. But with time, it lost all relevance, even as an auxiliary vehicle, because its modules deteriorated and spare parts were nowhere to be found. Still, some T-34s survived all the way into the 21st century. Formerly, the legendary T-34-85 remains in service with some countries even today, albeit not as an actual combat vehicle. Once we added satellite bombs to the game, they instantly became a topic of heated discussion, with many doubting their efficiency in combat. Well, let's go and check what these new munitions can do in realistic ground battles. We decided to pick the light American HSTV-L to score spawn points, and the actual bombing will be performed on the F-14B and the Harrier. Our first battle takes us to the Ardennes map. We make our way to the center of the town, deliver some damage to multiple enemies, and in 2 minutes, we're up in the air. The weather could have been better, but even these tight clouds have some openings for us. The radar warning system is silent, which means we can go lower. Hey, that's an enemy leopard. We got a bomb for you, buddy. First Frags score. Now we fly a little bit away from the ground map, make a turn, and as soon as we climb, we see a tight group of anti-air on the enemy spawn point. Time to drop the remaining bombs. And we get 3 more vehicles. Unfortunately, some of them survive and make quick work of our aircraft. But that's no reason to give up. Let's go into the next battle. This time around, we're fighting in Seversk. Let's cap a point, get a reward for an assist, and voila! Our plane is up in the air. First thing we do is check the targeting pod. Oh, missile incoming! Let's drop a bomb right now from 12 kilometers away and do some dodging. The first missile missed. The second one almost got us. Then, a long minute of waiting, and got it! Direct hit on the offender. The radar warning system is now silent, so we can fly closer. Oh, here's a group of enemy tanks moving to the capture area. Bad idea. And a great target. We drop all the remaining bombs and go back to base. And while we're flying, our total increases by 3 more frags. We return after the reload and spot a tank hiding on the central point. Hello there! That's our 5th destroyed enemy. Let's try another low-altitude attack, and we wipe out 2 more targets. So the grand total is 7 frags in 1 battle. We made a few dozen further attempts with different tactics and vehicles, and got similar results. So here we are, with a Harrier on the Maginot Line. Let's delete 2 enemies on the ground and take off to the skies. The appetizer here is a motionless French MBT. How could we say no to this target? Next, we see a Leopard in a similarly embarrassing situation. Frag number 2 is ready. Target 3 is a bit trickier since it's a moving tank. Let's drop our bomb with some lead, and we have a hit! A moment later, another enemy drives to the same place. They get the same treatment, but what's that? Something's triggering the RWR. Time to fly away and take a look around. Here they are, a few SPAAs, and one of them makes the mistake of not moving. Just what we need. Let's put a mark on it, make a dive, speed up, and toss that bomb right away. And while we're dodging the missiles of another SAM, the Gepard becomes our 5th frag. Next, we need to attack another anti-aircraft vehicle marked by an ally. We place the bomb around the corner, and another Gepard joins our list. Soon after, an anti-air missile shoots our aircraft down. But again, no reason to be upset. We were out of ammo anyway, so we simply take another aircraft to battle. This time, we spot a burning Leopard and drop a gift for it. While the bomb's flying, we keep on looking for targets and spot an MBT trying to repair behind a building. With a short gap, we make frags number 7 and 8. Before the battle ends, we manage to find and hit another Leopard, only for our second Harrier to be downed by anti-air. And the result here is 9 targets destroyed with satellite bombs in a single battle. What's your best result? And what challenges do you have in mind for our team? We'll try our best in one of the next episodes. And now it's time for us to answer some of your questions. The first question was sent by a player called Sidek. What's the best loadout for the Squadron A4E early? Hi, Sidek. For air battles, we recommend extra gun pods and air-to-air missiles. For close air support, your best options are guided munitions, the AGM-62A and the AGM-12B. Duke of Toast asks, we know that the Rogo is the lightest heavy tank, so what's the heaviest light tank? Greetings, Duke. Among wheeled tanks, the heaviest tank is the Class 3P, with a mass of 41 tons. As for classic tracked light tanks, the TAM-2IP is the heaviest, with 33 tons. Another question comes from William Iranko. What plane has the biggest fuel capacity in the game? Hi, William. The BV-238 can carry the most fuel. It can take more than 23 tons. But the TB-3 is still better at maximum flight time, with 11.5 hours in nominal operating mode. Wongi111 writes, which aircraft, plane or helicopter, can carry the highest number of unguided rockets? Hey there! The highest number of rockets carried by a helicopter belongs to the Mi-8T. Its result is 192 units. Among planes, the record belongs to the F-111A, with no less than 456. And the last comment for today was written by Space Quakey. What's the purpose of the little flaps below the horizontal stabilizer/elevator on the JF-17 and the J-10A? Hi, Quakey. They're called wing fences, or boundary layer fences, and what they do is improve yaw stability. You can find them on a huge number of planes. That's it for today. You've been watching The Shooting Range by Gaijin Entertainment, and the next episode will premiere the following Sunday at 4 p.m. GMT or noon Eastern Time. Subscribe and click the bell if you don't want to miss our next videos. Don't forget to never take more ammo than you need. Leave a like, share your thoughts and comments, and see you next week.